So opened up with yesterday. We're joking. All right, let's get to it. Just your thoughts on having a full day out there today and what that was like in terms of on the ice today.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's always good to get a full practice under your belt. I mean, a lot of us haven't practiced too much. For a lot of us, it's only been a couple times on the ice, so it was good to get a full one under us.
You've never had, sort of any issues with impressing staff, with coaches, GMs, but is it a little different here now as you start your life as an Oiler? And I don't know if you notice that McLellan and Shirley and everybody's up there. Just if that has any impact on you as you skate and work your way through camp.
You're just trying to do the best that you can, and you want to do the best that you can at any time, no matter who's watching. So, obviously, with those guys watching, you want to be even better. So, I know everyone's trying to step it up. But at the end of the day, everyone's just trying to do the best that they can, and they're up there, evaluating, and they'll see what they see. So, obviously, everyone's trying to impress them. So, just trying to do the best we can.
I can imagine the last month and a little bit, it's just been kind of hotel after hotel. How do you find hotel living as opposed to being at home?
I'm not the cleanest guy in a hotel room, so all my clothes are kind of everywhere. So it's not my favorite thing in the world, but obviously it's fun to get out to Edmonton and see the city, see the people. So this one I don't mind.
Who are you rooming with?
Vessel.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys who've gone through this, 2 or 3 times now, and are there guys who are kind of showing you the ropes, telling you what it's like, and kind of helping you along?
Yeah, you look at guys like Darnell and Chase and Joey, Leon. I mean, all those kind of guys. They've been here and they know what it's like. So I was trying to learn off those guys and see what it's like day to day. So I'm very lucky to have those guys kind of showing the way.
Connor, now that you've gotten a chance to become accustomed to the arena and the setting, and what is it like walking into the locker room and seeing the 5 Stanley Cups, or walking out on the ice and skating out on the ice and seeing the banners and just the history?
Yeah, it's very cool, obviously. I mean, the history that comes with this organization, the great names that have played here. It's such a storied franchise, and to walk in the locker room and see all that stuff, and all the things that have been left behind by those guys before, it's very special.
And the fact that it's been so long, it's been, 30, 20 years since, and where this franchise is and where it could go.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time. Obviously, the last couple of years haven't gone the way that they obviously necessarily would want it to be, and I mean, there's such a bright future for it. I mean, they made some changes and brought in some great hockey minds, and they still have such a great young core, and I'm just trying to do everything I can to make the team and be a part of that, and it's an exciting time to be a part of this organization.
No pressure, right?
There's only great coaches in the media in the stands right now. Have you thought about what tomorrow might be like? It could be 10,000 people sitting in that bowl, all kind of eyes on you type things.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, worry about that when you get there. I mean, there's nothing I could do. I'm just going to go out there and do the same stuff that I do all the time. So there's nothing I can do to worry about that.
Yesterday, grabbed a couple of veteran free agents. Both guys said that.
Good mojo. Yeah, we'll go over there.
And I really don't know how to answer that. I mean, pressure's something that I've been dealing with for a long time, so something I'm comfortable with, but obviously this is a whole different monster to deal with, so it's a whole nother level, and obviously he's just trying to temper them like he keeps saying, and yeah.
You said monster? This is a whole new monster to deal with?
Well, I guess, I don't know. I mean, trying to think of the first word that popped in my head.
Right.
So. No, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different words. Obviously, it's a bigger step. So
Right.
This isn't junior hockey anymore. This isn't even World Juniors. This is the NHL. So it's a whole lot whole lot more going on.
What does Darnell Nurse bring to the Oilers?
A whole bunch. I mean, he's got such a great personality off the ice. He's such a great teammate, and that's kind of the main thing. And then obviously his on-ice stuff speaks for itself. He's such a big body and can skate and can do everything. So we saw him out there today knocking down a few passes that Chaser should have got through, but it was all in good fun.
He looks like a hard guy to play against. Is that?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I mean, he's not a fun guy to play against. So.
Good.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Here, have you seen this sort of stuff before? Is this new and challenging type stuff? They've got some new people working on this.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit challenging. I think for everyone, we're a little bit out of our comfort zone, which is awesome, especially at this time to work on things like that you're not so comfortable with. I mean, it's the perfect time here being the summer.
Talked a little bit yesterday about how different a player you are from last year. Looking back, was it good to go back last year, given all that you got to experience? I mean, it's one of those hindsight moments.
Yeah, I think it was definitely good. I mean, anyone in my position wants to play as fast as possible, right? Yeah, I mean, it was a good year of growth. Like I said, I got to play a lot of different levels and play a lot of hockey, which really benefited me. And looking back, it was definitely something that helped me so far in my development.
A little taste of you were in Oklahoma City for a little bit, just to taste the pro. I mean, you know that's on the horizon.
Yeah.
Whether it's there, here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I'm done with junior now, so this becomes a job. But I mean, it's something that's a lot of fun. So I just gotta push myself. I know what it takes to get to that level, and I'm real confident in myself that I'll be able to do it.
The team is always trying to get better, but for a guy like you look at maybe the last 4 or 5 days through the draft, they've stacked up a few more defensemen, and that's the organization trying to get better. But do you just take that as, more of a challenge, or those are all guys that'll be fighting for the same place that you are?
Yeah, I mean, it's professional sports. There's a lot of competition. It's never easy to earn a job, no matter who's in the mix. So, like I said, you can only control what you do and how you prepare in order to be ready when September comes around. And like I said, I'm confident in what I'm able to do and what I'll be able to do after a good summer of training. So competition is good. It pushes everyone, and I'll definitely be highly motivated.
You've experienced this development camp under a couple of different regimes. Can you describe how it's different this time around with a guy like Peter Chiarelli and Todd McLellan at the forefront?
There's a lot of learning. I mean, every day you're learning something new. It's good to kind of get your mind into the game this early and have the ability to know what to focus on, what to worry about coming into camp, and hopefully if you're able to get a job, what you're preparing for to do for the team.
Darnell, Peter Chiarelli said yesterday to the media that seeing yourself, Leon, and Connor on the ice gives him tingles. Do you guys ever talk as a group about what the future holds for you guys playing together as Edmonton Oilers?
Yeah, I think all three of us are really excited. Obviously, we're pretty close, all of us, and I think, like I said, a couple of us still have some work to do in order to earn jobs, but I mean, it's something that we're definitely looking forward to in the future, and all we can do is push each other to get to our potential and what we'll be able to do in the future.
Darnell, what is the sense of the youngsters knowing that you guys can be part of a franchise, I guess, revolution or renovation and part of the future of a franchise that's had its difficulties over the past decade?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we have that capability to do that, but we still got a lot of work to do. And none of us have, to this point, done anything in this league, with the exception of Leon. Obviously, he played, but we got a lot of work to do in order to be contributing factors in an NHL team.
Does that include Connor?
Obviously he's special, so you can only expect the greatest things from him. But you don't want to put too much pressure on him, right? He's 18 years old, and I think he's in the same boat as most of us. Coming in and trying to get comfortable and doing whatever you can to help the team win.
You never want to overwhelm a guy like that, like Connor. But I mean, do you pick your spots as far as telling him, okay, this is this, and just kind of showing him the ropes and helping him along? This is his first go at it.
Yeah, I think anytime you're going through your first development camp, things like that, guys like me, I've been to 3 of these now, so obviously if he ever had any questions, I'd be really open to it. But I think the biggest thing about this is you come here to kind of get comfortable with the organization, get comfortable with the city, and it's something where we all learn something new every time we come here, and it's always fun to get together.
Thanks, Darnell. Watching the ice session, does anything jump out at you immediately when you're watching Connor?
You know, it's hard not to put your eyes on Connor and to get an idea of how he's carrying himself and what he looks like. But you know, with that being said, there's 30 other players here, and we're trying to figure everybody out. Connor's one that we can take our time on, and probably been the most watched player out of the draft and for years, and that includes us. So we can take our eyes off of him for a while, and we owe it to the rest of the players that are here in camp to spend time, you know, visually and creating relationships with them as well. Connor will get a lot of that as time goes on, so the focus isn't solely on him. But like I said earlier, it's hard not to have your eyes find 97 to see what he's up to, but that's our approach.
Your thoughts on the roster today, given compared to a couple of weeks ago, or when you first took the job?
Again, a lot of exciting things are happening in our organization. I feel I'm back in Edmonton now for the first time in a little while, and there is a sense of excitement outside the rink, the fans, the people that I run into, and that's exciting and encouraging. We added pieces at the draft. I thought that Peter and his staff did a tremendous job of preparing for that and executing, and then obviously yesterday a couple more pieces. So transforming the roster, trying to fill holes, trying to improve in areas. But I've also reminded a lot of people, including you know, our coaching staff, that it's what happens between the boards for 60 minutes that really counts. We can put names on the board, we can fool around on paper and talk about a lot of the things, but we have to blend all of this together. We have to make a decision on how we want to play, and we have to commit to that. Not only through the good days, but through some bad days. We'll still have those, and you know, try and work towards an identity and build on that day in and day out. So, team looks different than it did a few weeks ago, but work to do.
Do reality and the expectations and excitement sync, or do maybe people have to gear it down a little bit because it is still?
Well, we have to keep it real. I hope that the people in Edmonton and in the hockey world keep that excitement level up, because it forces us to execute and keeps us on our toes, and you know, that's a really good thing. But we also have to do this methodically. We have to incorporate how we want to play. We can't go from A to M and skip all the other letters in the alphabet. That would be dangerous. So we've got to do it methodically. We've got to develop an identity. We've got to get our foundation in place and grow as a team now. And we've got 1/3, 1/4 of a turnover. There's a lot of fresh faces, new ideas, a belief system that needs to be built with the existing players that are returning and the new ones. So again, methodical.
Todd, in the same vein, what is your reaction when you hear Connor McDavid answer question after question and say, if I'm fortunate enough to make the Oilers, you know, next season? It's not a done deal for him, or at least that's the way.
No, and you know, do I expect Connor McDavid to play here in Edmonton? I do. Let's get that clear. And Connor, in the back of his mind, he's being a very respectful young gentleman, like he should be. In the back of his mind, he knows he still has to go out and earn it, and he does. But based on his skill set, his past, the high expectations have been put on him at other levels. He's been able to attain that. We expect him to push for a job here and play on our hockey club. I believe he can do that. I do believe deep down he believes he can do that. He can do that. But I think it's a reflection of his character. He's not putting himself in front of 30 other prospects that are here. He's not being granted or given anything. He's going to earn it just like anybody else, and he wants it that way. He really does.
Todd, back here.
Oh, sorry.
You talked about the identity of the team. Is that something when you look at the roster right now and you can say, okay, I think this is what our identity is going to be, or do you sort of maybe arrive at that as you go into, you know, whatever, November 15th, November 30th, you'll know better?
Well, you have a vision on how you'd like the team to play, but the ingredients have to be there. The players have to accept it and are willing to participate in it. So we will expose them to what we would like to be. We've got to get them to participate in that. And you know, if fast is part of our identity or a speed element's part of our identity, that doesn't mean you have to skate like Taylor Hall to play in our hockey club. Decision making, anticipation skills. Thomas Holmstrom, Dave Anderchuk, in my mind, were fast players. What they did in and around the blue paint was fast, but they weren't the best skaters in the league. But they were effective. They played in a fast system. So we've got to relay that vision or that identity to the players, and then they have to figure out a way to fit their game in that.
Todd, it might be early to be asking you this, but where's your head at in terms of a deterrent, protection, that sort of thing? You've got a real good young asset in Connor, some other smaller, younger players. You got, you know, potentially guys like Reinhardt or Nurse who are bigger guys that maybe would feel that it's their job if nobody else. Like, do you feel like you need to have that element in your lineup?
Well, I look at what's happening, you know, in the Western Conference. I don't think I do think the days of, you know, of the shotgun rider that can barely, you know, execute and play. They're simply slipping away for many different reasons, and we don't need to go into them. But the competitive, hard, mix-it-up guy is still going to be involved in the game, and we'd like to have those players too, and I think we do have them. And you know, the strength of the pack is all the wolves. It's not just one of them, and we're going to have that mentality. We have players in our organization that are capable of taking care of each other. Power play has to be effective because that becomes a deterrent, becomes a form of toughness as well. So, you know, it's still a little bit early. It is July 1st, and we're still building our team as well.
Yeah.
Todd, it'll be a while before the puck drops between you guys and the Flames, but it's been a while since people outside have been talking about the rivalry between both teams, but everybody seems to think it's been kind of resurrected with all the different acquisitions. Just your thoughts on?
Yeah, it's you know, my first experience, obviously, growing up in Saskatchewan. You hear a lot about the Battle of Alberta, and you witnessed it either live or on TV, and then as a player and as a coach, there was a lot of talk of it. You know, unfortunately, it died off a little bit over the past few years because both organizations were trying to find their way. Calgary's done a tremendous job. Their staff and their players have done an excellent job in retooling their team and being a very competitive club. And we're trying to get to that level. And if we can rekindle it, I think it'll be a great thing for hockey in Alberta. But also, I remember those days as a kid. You enjoyed watching those games, and you didn't have to be from Alberta to get excited about it.
And what is your level of eagerness to be at step one of that phase where this franchise has the potential to become?
Well,
you know,
I'm excited. Like it's hard not to be on the ice when you see the kids out there. You want to get out and you want to start doing your thing. But a lot has happened. For me individually, for our staff, for our organization, a lot has happened quickly, and we're just trying to get our feet underneath us, basically, as coaches. We're trying to establish a life in Edmonton with our families. We're trying to get to know and meet new staff members. We're trying to contact players and spend time and begin to create relationships, and the summer's the time for that. So what's normally is a quiet summer for a lot of coaches, maybe they're working on projects. In this situation, it's been quite busy.
Todd, how would you describe Connor McDavid to somebody who doesn't know who Connor McDavid is or what skills he has?
You know, I like to start with the human side, the person, and my dealings with Connor, very respectful, focused young man. Does things right, carries himself properly. It's a tough thing for an 18-year-old. I have a 19-year-old at home, and I got to keep reminding him that you know, things that go on Twitter they're there forever, and the respect and all that type of stuff. Connor has that, and he does a tremendous job with it. And then his skill set is remarkable. He's obviously a tremendous player that's well documented, but we have a responsibility, and he has a responsibility to actually improve it as time goes forward. And I find that he's inquisitive. He wants to know, and you know, his eyes are wide open, his ears are open. He wants more. He wants to learn more, and that's a real positive thing right now.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate that.